Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Erica. Erica, you are going to present your coaching model today. So it's just a special occasion for all coaches, but also for our community. So I'm very honored and happy to see and listen to your presentation together with the other coaches here.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. And the pleasure is mine to share with you this milestone of mine today. And it took me a while to put together, to consolidate all of the learnings and the work that I've done and gone through this year. And at the beginning, I thought I would link it to a personal project I have. But then discussing with Christina, it was enlightening because the personal project I have, has a name that is a bit linked to vagueness and wandering, which is also meaningful and great, but it's not the coaching I want you to associate with me. I mean, yeah. And so I've gone through it again, and I came out with a coaching model that is that inspires clarity, alignment, and a direction, not just wandering, but coaching is having a direction, and he is having concrete actions somehow. So, so I'm gonna share my presentation and introduce you to what is gonna be my model. And share. Voilà. Do you see the presentation? Okay. And this is the last one. I'm sorry. Let me share again. Yeah. Okay. So this is the wave coaching model. And I wanted really to have a model that is inspired by the sea, inspired by a natural movement that is aligned with what's going to be my life soon going to be. And it is a coaching model that is inspired also by the mindful art of sailing, but is also grounded in the ICF core competencies. And in this last period, I had almost the impression that the core competencies were like a stream of water, where with this program we got the chance to enter this stream, and we were almost, I mean, I speak personally, I was pushed to experience further and embody those competencies and demonstrate them in all of my actions, in my practice, in my reflections. And so I wanted a model that is structured, but that is simple, essential, and is also intuitive, that has this part inside, and that accompanies, in the end, people navigating the waves of their life at the end. So, why the model is also inspired by sailing? Because I feel like sailing gives also a structure, like observing. I mean, you cannot just go into the ocean and that's it. You have to observe, to be aligned, to respond to what's around you, and to decide how to react and to move forward. So let's go to the next slide and wave, because you will see, and I will explain it through the presentation. Every letter has embodies some meaningful concepts that I think are meaningful for me, but that are that help me in this in my practice. And so the wave, the W stands for want and witness. The A stands for awareness, most of all. The V stands for vision, but also very much verbalization. And E stands for empowerment and embodiment. And so all of this really helped me like support and gives me the structure I need to move forward myself somehow. And so if I go to the next slide, the starting point is really want. And coaching exists because someone come to us because he wants to do something, to have something to, yeah, there is a want. And it is also a moment I see, like when you observe the sea, there are little waves forming on the surface. And all of those little waves are opportunities, maybe, to become something or not, we don't know. But with kindness, I really invite the client to take a moment, to look around, to tell what the current position is, what he's seeing, what energy he's sensing in the moment. And I believe that our role is really to partner with the client at the very beginning, from the beginning, to identify, to clarify, and reconfirm what it is that he wants to accomplish. And you see also this image, I liked it because at the beginning it can be a little blurred, but it's with our partnership and with what we allow in our space of coaching. In the space of coaching, things can get clearer and things can emerge. And so, yeah, this is the want, and all of us, also the competencies show the agreement and how much, yeah, it's important to have a solid agreement to reconnect to, and also our questions throughout the coaching session are connected to what the client wants and not to what we want or what we think is right. Of course not. And so the second W word is witness. And when I say witness, this is an image that helps me to remind myself that the compass is the client. And it's like when you navigate, you of course you look at the direction, but you also have to keep an eye on where you're going. It might be that if you lose the connection with the compass, then you go too far or too close. And so to check how he's moving, and sometimes it's really moving 1-2 degrees, but those movement, yeah, to keep in mind that there's always a tension in the compass, and to observe that tension, to observe that movement, helps me to stay centered, to stay focused on the client. And I'd like now to offer you a little question to reflect on. And it's, how do you ensure you're witnessing your clients without interpreting or projecting? And for me, it's really like the image of the compass. And earlier in winter, I had another image that was the image of a candle, and thinking about the client as a candle, as fire, and me not willing to put water in the fire or to interpret whatever, to add words to it that wouldn't be the words of the client. So I don't know how you manage to, yeah, to not interpret or not project.
That's an interesting question. I'm sure that each of us has their own uh, tips or process.
If I could, yeah, just a lot of thinking, self-control. First of all, I think we need to breathe and think and give the space to reflect about what could be the most intelligent move. And of course, to paraphrase what the client says without pulling words or guiding or verbs that could be um, affecting their self-reflection. So that's what I do.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
For me, it is the tool is self-awareness. Because I don't believe, and I just heard it also on some other webinar, that we can't not have any interpretation and projection when we hear something, because we are just human beings as well, not just the coaches. So it's more about to try to, because of self-awareness, try to be in ourselves, to really catch the moments when the interpretation comes to our mind and just not using it, putting it on side,
Mm.
rather than try to not have any interpretation or projection. I think it's impossible because of nature of human being.
Thank you. Yeah.
I can also add, I think for me, the simplest thing is just asking the client and just checking in. So if I'm noticing something, I'm noticing this, but what are you thinking? What are you noticing? What are you feeling? So that I'm not, even if I have an idea, I'm not projecting that onto them, and they have the chance to explain for themselves.
Yeah. Asking.
Yeah, for me personally, it's mostly concentration on client's energy, as like something like energy language that really helps me to with the connection, in a way how to, as mentioned Jill, to notice something or to share some observations. So maybe my tool is really observing energy language. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And well, thank you really for I also took some notes to reflect on those words. And when we go next to the framework, there is the A. And A stands for me for awareness. And I put this lighthouse because that's kind of the space I want to offer my client. A space where I don't know where they come from. They might have had a very hard night, sailing the whole night. And the sailor comes, has an adventure, has a story. And I offer them a place of light. I try to, at least. And I try to make my lights work, to take care about my lights, and to take care about the fact that I want to be there and stay there, grounded like a lighthouse. And it's a space where they can rest, they can let go of what they can let go of what's around them. But most importantly, it allows them to, in a place of awareness, you can choose what you can let go. When you see the things, you understand through which lenses you were looking at. I mean, you have some glasses, and in this space you can take those glasses away, and kind of you see what's there, without judging, without thinking it's right or wrong. It's there, and from there, yeah, they can use, sort of let emerge that creative power and decide what to do with what they're seeing. And here also I would like to offer you a question, which is, how much of your questions enlighten the greatness of your clients?
There's a lot to think,
Mm.
a lot of food for thought. And often, if I may add, we connect with the problems, we connect with the solution. So that's where the question is focused on, I believe. What do you think, Erica?
Yeah.
This question is connected to the fact that sometimes we do not connect with the greatness of our client, but with legitimate but not appropriate as coaches need to solve problems.
And I guess in this case, when some, I wouldn't say negative words, but when some problem words come out, I try to do what Vit was saying before and not put them aside. Like, yes, I write them, but I keep them there, but I don't mention them somehow. And unless it's coming really very, very often. And I try, unless, to invite the client to find another word, a positive one, so to say, that would um, allow him to see the other side of the coin.
So this is addressing shadow and light.
Mm.
And what about this question? Like, how much of your questions enlighten the greatness of your client in terms of not numbers of questions, but am I correct? Not, but in terms of approach.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean to ask?
Yes.
I can definitely say that it's more than before this program because I'm using much more questions which are connected with competency 7 awareness, um, deepening awareness of the client and so on. So much more than before. I can't say number.
Thank you, It.
I would like to be able to say that every question I ask enlightens the greatness of the clients, but I know that's not the case. And sometimes I feel like I get, you get a sense that a question doesn't land, and so maybe then you offer a new one or a different one. And so I think that's some of the, kind of gauging the energy and kind of seeing what sparks something, what seems to spark something, or what causes them to reflect. And, every question doesn't land, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And just to connect to what we are going to do in our class today after Erica's presentation, it's great to have this question. We can maybe reuse the slide again in our lesson today, connected to what Jill and Vit are saying, because yes, I will demonstrate, I will show you some elements at the MCC level also of addressing enlightened greatness, which doesn't mean to avoid issues or not to address what the client is bringing us, but it means to developing the art of enlightened greatness of our clients in a way that is, of course, aligned with who you are as coaches, but with coaching. So thank you for the question, Erica. Anybody else? We will have more to consider later on.
Yes. And so we move to this image and the visualization and verbalization. So we said once there is this place of light, the client might see some things and might start seeing those things, but our brain somehow, it's good to see, but it's we need to verbalize what we're seeing and to put some words to what's in our mind, because that's how that's how the brain likes it to then proceed the information. And so that's why this image I'd like to share, that we as coaches, we have the possibility to be clear and concise also in our kind of how we verbalize and we offer our questions. And the more we are concise and precise, and the more we allow the client to also come to that clear idea, that clear verbalization, and he comes to say it out loud. And when it's there, when it came out, then also there he decides what to do, what to embody, how to move forward. But yeah, I guess it's really crucial to also for us to just not just interpret, okay, I think it's like that. No, he has to say it, how he will use what he has just seen. And otherwise, it stays there in the air and it doesn't land anywhere. And so I believe really that language can promote clarity, and it comes only from active listening, and it cannot be otherwise, I believe. And then to come slowly to the end, here I like this image because there's really the person surfing, and I didn't know back then, Giselle, that you were a surfer when I had this image in mind. But I really think that at some point those waves they have power inside. And once we are aligned, and once our compass is aligned, we know where to go. There's nothing nicer than surfing the wave rather than just being or feeling that you're drifted away. And on the top of the wave, there is this will to embrace the movement, a movement that goes forward. And there is a will also of the client to act intentionally. And of course, the movement doesn't end in the session, but it continues after. And we don't know where he will land, if the wave will last very long or very less. And every wave is different. So, and every surfer is different. But it can also be a moment to celebrate and to acknowledge the fact that the surfer is alone, is not surfing with us on the board, and the wave is only for him to surf, for her to surf, and we can only be there, witness, and celebrate the movement and the will to be moving somewhere. Yeah, and there is one last question for you, because I believe that waves are like the waves of life. They're maybe you're surfing one right now. Maybe you have surfed some in the past, and there will be more to come. But if there was one wave you're surfing right now as professional coach, what would it be? And if I leave you some time to think about it, for me at the moment is really, I guess, exposing myself and my coaching, getting to the external world. I haven't done coaching before, so for me it's really like stepping into the world with my backpack and saying, "Hey, I'm here, and I want to surf," but it's my first wave, so and yeah, and also to be kind with myself in this moment of surfing. Mm.
I can talk about it because it's it's better connect to my coaching style that definition I will start to I'm starting creating. So I didn't know you were on the same similar mood, but the way I see the waves I surf is like first as a surfer, there is an important condition that you cannot change the wave. The waves are there. You need to observe to be able to catch them or to ride them well. And I see pretty much the waves as the clients because you cannot change them. You just need to ride and take the best out of each wave, and each wave is different. And you need to practice a lot to be able to take a wave without falling or without getting to your fears or not looking that as something that you don't want to face. So the waves I ride is basically as a coach is the clients are the clients. So that's how I see.
Thank you.
Thank you, Giselle. Thank you. Eva?
Well, I'm thinking about this magic question, Erica, because maybe the name of my wave would be now, not would be, is actually full presence, and how this full presence really helps me, acknowledges me how to be and how to observe. Because this is now for me a phase, how I can in a new way feel, hear, and also to be. Yes, a new level of state of being. So for me, it's about full presence because only in this state of being, I now more and better can hear or see what I have to acknowledge and filter or integrate, but also what I have to let it go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can, mine is similar to Eva's in some ways that was coming to mind for me. But I guess first I'm thinking that, as a coach, I go through these stages of kind of doubt and confidence in myself as a coach. And right now, I'm actually riding more of the confidence wave. Like I'm feeling more comfortable. And in that, I it's the deep presence. So similar what Eva was saying, it's just riding this wave of kind of deep presence, being with the clients and really just enjoying that at the moment.
Thank you.
first word which came to my mind is embodiment. I'm kind of embodying what is to be a master coach, like closer and closer, I hope.
Well, thank you everyone for sharing the waves you're surfing at the moment. And yeah, I believe it's nice to share because all of you maybe already surfed some waves and some of you didn't, but to hear that everyone is somehow moving in a direction and feeling this power of the movement is helpful also. And I guess it's the power of the community, probably, yes.
Since you're saying that, Erika, I also would like to answer and participate as a coach because I was thinking with your questions, they are they are evoking awareness and they have the power to evoke something new and different. And I was thinking about my wave, and my wave is, I can name it as a rogue wave, which is not something big or devastating, but it's a wave that I don't know what it is yet because it's about discovering what my evolution as a master coach can be. So it's something totally new and something that I need to discover.
Thank you.
Which exposed me to the unknown, like they're waiting for something, but you don't know what is coming. So thank you for this question.
Thank you for sharing, all of you. And I come to the last one, which is just a quote and a picture of myself. And it is that we cannot stop the waves. And yeah, as we were saying, they come and go. They're big, not big, depends. But what we can do is that we can learn to surf them. And yeah, this is my image of myself. And the model couldn't be something else than life at sea or something connected with the sea, because I really believe that, and it's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I decided to leave that life to go back to the essential, to go back to the basics of life, not to add more, but to stick to what's there and to get to really know what's there and feel it in all of those instincts and life in nature mostly. Yes. So I close my presentation and I'm open for questions, and I stop sharing so that I can see you better.
Thank you so much, Erika. It was another journey, not just a metaphorical journey, but also a journey on your sailing boat. Just to add a little bit of your experience, you actually are going to live on a sailing boat. And yes, you can also add to this project your website, Project Vago website that describes you and your life on a sailing boat. So this is really the manifestation of who you are. So thank you for this presentation. I'm going to close the recording. We will have more models on surfing and waves because this is the best metaphor and the best approach. I mean, the movement continues, ongoing, never stopping movement of life. So thank you so much. Thank you for your work.